Notre Dame decided to take their ball and go home. They have opted out of bowl games. Kieran, what were your thoughts on seeing this news?
Absolute hilarity, because there is nothing that they could have done to convince us more that they A, need to join a conference, and B, are one of, if not the most coddled brands in college football.
Yeah, I agree with you. A lot of people have thoughts pointing out that they don't need to join a conference. Everyone just needs to be okay with them not joining a conference. A lot of comments about my weight on the video I posted about it. I don't know what that has to do with college football, but
What?
people were people were calling me fat, saying I needed to eat another cheeseburger, and that I'm on drugs. So it's 10 out of 10, guys.
That's
Comments are great.
incredible.
Uh, I think they're hilarious, but yeah. So this is a very divisive topic. I kind of figured that we were going to have a similar opinion, which we'll talk about a bit more. But I wanted to let a Notre Dame fan sort of give their thoughts on it instead. So we had Brian from Third and 10 record a video to post on Bellic Social this week. So we'll play that real quick and just get the Notre Dame perspective. If I could figure out how to play it.
After being left out of the college football playoffs, Notre Dame has announced they will not be participating in a bowl game this year. And look, call it childish, call it soft, call it clownish, call it whatever you want. This is the right move by the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, okay? They were screwed in this whole process. I'm not talking about Notre Dame Miami, okay? It's on the field. If that was the case, I get it. It's the fact that Alabama got in over them because 15 of the last 16 conference championship losers have fallen in the next poll. The one exception was Alabama, and this was after a questionable rise in their rankings after a lackluster win against Auburn. So this is Notre Dame saying, we're not going to play in a meaningless bowl game when we were screwed over. We're not going to give money to a network that actively rooted against us. We're on to 2026, and we're there to make a statement. And if you saw how Marcus Freeman led the Irish after the embarrassment at NIU, you can only imagine how dangerous Notre Dame will be in 2026. After being
So I don't necessarily disagree with some of the things Brian said.
Mm.
However, to say, oh, every team that's lost a conference championship has fallen in the rankings. When meanwhile last year we had people talking about if SMU loses, I don't care. I still want them in. You shouldn't be punished for playing an extra game. But Alabama is the exception here, apparently. Uh, and on top of that, saying, oh, well, Marcus Freeman, if you saw how he reacted to the NIU loss last year, he's going to have these guys firing on all cylinders. Wouldn't he be motivated to not lose their 2 games against good teams after losing the national title game? But no, he's now they're going to be motivated. No, Notre Dame is soft. They're playing in a meaningless bowl game. A lot of people are pointing out, well, what about the guys who are going to opt out? Like, why should Notre Dame care? It's not necessarily about that. The guys are going to opt out. Jeremiah Love, Carr, they have the NFL to focus on. They're going to want to preserve their strength and their health for next year and into the NFL. The problem is you also have a bunch of guys who aren't going into the NFL. And the rumors are they declined a Pop-Tarts Bowl invite, the most prestigious bowl in college football history, potentially. And it's about the guys who are redshirt, fifth-year seniors who are going to be sitting in a cubicle doing someone's taxes next year. And while they're doing that, which is awful work, I hated being an accountant, they're going to be thinking, man, that game in the Pop-Tarts Bowl was electric. So you're taking that away from them. And Georgia got screwed out of the playoffs a couple of years ago when it was only 4 teams. So they went out and decided to dominate and blew out their opponent. And Notre Dame, this is the perfect chance for Notre Dame to do that. Go, y'all messed up. We should have been in, and we're going to prove it to you how badly y'all messed up. Because that's how you get the benefit of the doubt going forward. A lot of people point out, oh, it's the Alabama brand. No, it's the Alabama running through, I can't say that word, someone's face for a decade straight. So they got the benefit of the doubt under Saban. This is how you get that benefit of the doubt. You go out there, you dominate in big primetime games, and then you will get that 1 or 2 mulligans, that benefit of the doubt. Go, well, they didn't play great, but they kick it into gear in these big time games. It's soft. it's ridiculous. Notre Dame, if you want to make the college football playoffs, you shouldn't have lost to the 2 ranked teams you played all damn year.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. I think it's difficult when they're not in a conference, right? Because if you had that game to justify that last spot in the playoff, or say an 8 seed or whatever it might have been, then I'm willing to accept your argument that if you lost that game, that you should be in because you only lost it by a field goal, or you played really well. I will accept all those arguments. Now, to that end, to Notre Dame's credit, their 2 losses are against teams that are about to play each other in the college football playoff on December 20th. It's Miami and Texas A&M. So it's one of those things that it's really hard to think that, like, oh, the 2 losses are the only other 2 teams actively in the playoffs. But then, they're not. I don't want to say they're playing cupcakes, because they're not. It's not all cupcakes, and other conferences are have those cupcake games as well. I'm not playing that strength of record thing or strength of schedule stuff, but it's one thing to miss a college football playoff. It's another thing to then opt out of a bowl game that everyone wants to see. I think in the era of meaningless bowl games, the Pop-Tart Bowl has kind of cemented itself as the next best thing, right? Yes, you're not playing for national championship. It's not the era of the BCS. But arguably, in terms of a spectacle, the Pop-Tart Bowl is one of the better ones. And it's really fun to see those 2 teams go and compete against one another. So to deny yourself that opportunity is a waste of a game. It's a waste of a coaching experience, and it's a waste of an opportunity to show, look how badly we beat, say, BYU. I think that's who they were going up against. Look how badly we beat them, and they only just lost. Or I mean, they did lose pretty badly in their Big 10, Big 12 matchup. But it's one of those things. It's like it's an 11-1 team or 11-2 team. Look how badly we kick their butts. This is our repertoire for going into the next season. So I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up their schedule, because Notre Dame's athletic director, Pete Bivacqua, it's a weird last name, I'm probably mispronouncing it, said, "We were shocked, mystified at what happened Sunday. We had one of the most dominant 10-game runs in the history of college football." And Brett McMurphy over at On3 did put their schedule out after. So they had the Miami, Texas A&M losses, which, again, they got a huge benefit of the doubt by staying ranked at 0-2 after those losses, but they lost those games. Then they did go on to win 10 straight against some real heavy hitters in the sport, Kieran. And this is a murderer's row. I don't know how they were left out after being 2-10 Purdue, at 2-10 Arkansas, Boise State, which is just labeled G5, which I think is a little unnecessary dig at Boise State. They are a good program, so I'll give them that one. At 7-5 NC State, 9-3 USC, at Boston College, who was an unbelievable 2-10. I don't know how they won that game. Navy, another good Group of 5 opponent. At Pitt, who was 8-4, so that's fine. 3-9 Syracuse, and at 4-8 Stanford. Real dominant 10-game run. The best in college football, some are saying. Some are strictly people within Notre Dame, but it's fine. So I hate that. I hate the entitlement they feel, because in the BCS era, if they were a top 8 finish, they were guaranteed a BCS bowl. Guaranteed. Going forward, if they finish top 12, if it's a 12 or a 14 team playoff, they are guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. No other independent is getting these concessions for them. Mm-hmm. It's just Notre Dame, because they have good marketing. They don't need to necessarily back up on the field, because they have NBC in their back pocket. Complaining about ESPN bias when you've had NBC in your back pocket the entire time is insane. And then to go around and go, well, the ACC hurt us by campaigning for the team that is in their conference. Like, look, Notre Dame has a relationship with the ACC. They have a scheduling alliance, and a bunch of other Notre Dame sports play in the ACC. So Notre Dame, join the ACC. If you want the ACC to campaign for you, to champion for you, and go out there and go, no, Notre Dame had a great 10-game run after losing to two highly ranked teams that are in the playoffs right now. They should be in. Then join the conference. Why are you expecting? Are you upset the SEC didn't tell the committee to put you in? Are you upset the Big Ten didn't? Are you upset the Mountain West, Big Sky? Like, where do you want this to end? Do you want a presidential decree from Donald Trump telling the committee to put you in the playoffs? Because that's the only thing that will make Notre Dame happy. They do not care about winning on the field. They only care that they see everyone in media on their knees in front of Notre Dame, mouth wide open. Notre Dame wants you to think they're great. They don't care if they're actually great. Notre Dame is a soft program, and if they don't get their way, then they're going to cry to mommy, take their ball, and go home. And it's sad.